There's a lot of focus on Ahly going into this game. So whether or not Mitch was setting up was kind of maybe trying to just calm that support group down and saying that we're only here to kind of enjoy ourselves, have fun, probably a bit of clever management. We'll see how it goes. But I think for them, they'll definitely have to try and curb the quality that Munich front four. If they can do that in that first half, they might give themselves an opportunity in the game.
All right, well, let's call it then, lads, before we hand over to our match commentary team. Pat, who's it going to be for you, and what do you reckon score-wise here?
I'd be interested to see how Munich do. Have they recovered from their disaster weekend? But you think in the quality you have at the top end of the pitch, particularly we spoke about defensive, very strong midfield. I fancy Munich to win and maybe win 2-0.
They can do the perfect season here as well. Legacy, everything on the line. Stewie, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think they probably just put that, the travel incident to bed. Might be a little bit frustrated from it, so I think they'll come out and put their best foot forward. So I can't see it past Munich.
All right, well, let's see as we hand you over to our match commentary team for this one. Stephanie Roach, and first you, Cahill.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. The Ahmad bin Ali Stadium in Al Rayyan, Doha, playing host to Al Ahly against Bayern Munich in the FIFA Club World Cup semi-final. Well, 40,000 seater capacity when the World Cup rolls around next year. Tonight, though, the stadium will host around about 12,500 fans as Bayern aim to become the first European side to win the Club World Cup for a second time. Champions in 2013 and looking for more success here in 2021. Well, both sides completed the domestic treble, League Cup, and then, of course, their equivalent of the Champions League in Africa last season. They have played once before in a friendly match back in January 2012. Bayern won that 2-1, and it was also played here in Qatar. We'll be hoping to repeat that feat here in the club semi-final tonight. Well, straight away you can probably just get an idea there of the physical stature difference between the sides. Al Ahly, well, bonus territory for the Egyptians to make it this far, and they seem to have come through the last round unscathed. The back four remains intact after keeping that clean sheet against the Qataris. A similar feat tonight would be hugely impressive. Fatih and El Sulia shore up the midfield just in front of the defence, with El Shahad, Ashfa and Kharaba hoping to support that lone striker Tahar up front. Tahar preferred Tubualia, by the way, in attack, and the only change from that last round. That's how we expect them to set up, and you can expect as well Al Ahly to be very defensive-minded against the European champions. There's their captain, Manuel Neuer, a tower of strength, both for club and for country. Two goalkeepers captains today. There's Shinawi as well, not giving much away in height, is he? I think probably the tallest player in that Al Ahly side. Will height make a difference today, particularly at set piece? We'll find out as the game continues. So, almost set to go then. And as the panel and Jackie were saying in the build-up to this, I wonder how much effect the journey from Munich has had on the Bayern team. We'll find out. These are match officials, VAR machines, if you like. Well, that's the Bayern team. Many familiar faces in the Bayern starting 11. Alphonso Davies, one of those. Not least their captain, Manuel Neuer. Boateng and Alaba will command that centre of the back four, as you would expect. Thomas Muller, one of the most experienced players in the tournament. Kingsley Coman, there is Muller. And then, of course, the man up front, Robert Lewandowski, is a player in unbelievable form, to say the least. That's how we expect them to set up. Familiar at this stage if you watched their unbeaten run through the Champions League last season, and they are firm favourites to go ahead and book their place in the final. Alongside me is Republic of Ireland international Stephanie Roach. Stephanie, Bayern firm favourites here. I wonder, can Al Ahly disrupt and destroy today and just basically make it as difficult as possible for the German side?
Yeah, exactly. I think Bayern firm favourites, as you mentioned. The lads in the studio as well have touched on it. I think Al Ahly obviously coming into this game with a rich reign of form as well, obviously used to winning as well, so hopefully it will end up being a good game, but I can't see past Bayern Munich not winning this game. But as I said, both teams will be looking to win, I hope, and we'll see what happens and hopefully get a good game.
Yeah, so winning's a habit, and this African side are not used to losing at all. There's Lewandowski, 27 from 26 goals, as we said, and it's a pretty rich reign of form in any league or in any continent as the European champions take on the African champions. So we're underway, and it was Coleman who gets us off of Bayern Munich in possession. First touch for Lewandowski, and just got away from him and his toe. I had a feeling that the red jerseys are going to be camped inside their own half for much of this first half. Maybe we're wrong on that, but that's certainly what the soundings were made during the week. We were talking about how they might set up here and how they might approach this game. El Sulia just getting the ball away from the defence as quickly as possibly can. A little bit awkward there for Boateng to deal with. And first touch for Fati. Kenny takes the throw. Just very compact and well organised, as you would expect. This Bayern side. Davis back to the centre back, and Alba, the most experienced, to Boateng. Hasn't had an easy time of it in the newspapers recently. If you read himself and his partner split up, and it was fairly public. I don't think he had too much comment to say on it, but this after she got a tattoo of his name on her stomach, so I think she's going to have a pretty rough few weeks trying to sort that out. Anyway, the matters on the pitch here. As Davis takes it, just patient stuff from Bayern at the back. And this is what we're going to see, Stephanie, I think, just taking their time really in the build-up, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of possession football, I'd say, from Bayern, and obviously Ahly are going to have to be very patient and keeping their shape, as you mentioned before, because I think the players at the front four, particularly that Bayern have, will pick them apart if any of them kind of step out of position. So I think we'll see this for the first few minutes as they ease their way into the game.
Off it comes to Alba. Holds the time here to pick out one of his teammates. Has to go short down this near side to Davis, and just to see if he can have a go down that left flank and take on his opposite number. No, he's got buckets of pace and more than capable of it. Once again, it's Boateng, it's Alba. Centre backs have touched most of the ball for Bayern so far. Good tackle in the midfield, and it's gone out for a throw.
It's a good start, I think, from Ahly. I think they're closing down the space for Bayern as soon as they can. It's going to be a tiring game, I'd say, from if they're doing this for 90 minutes, so they will look to try and get a hold of the ball. I'd like to see keep the ball a little bit and maybe get at Bayern when they can as well.
Maybe just try and hit them on the counter-attack. Hard to know how much pace they have in terms of what Bayern have, but it's all about how they set up, I suppose. Try and keep a little bit of pressure, and Bayern do have the ball. It's tiring stuff, though, Stephanie says, when you don't have it. Just trying to compact the midfield there. This is Roca. And it goes to Davis again. Nice ball. Chance to run at them down. There's Gnabry, plays it inside. Keeper's off his line pretty quickly, and he's going to have a second go with it. Shinabi did well there.
Yeah, the keeper does really well. It's Gnabry getting at the defence there, and Coleman himself and those front three will look to link up. It's a good ball through, maybe just a little bit on too much on it, and as you say, the keeper comes out and sweeps it up.
It's pretty imposing player in that Ahly goal. As I mentioned, they're unbeaten in 32 games. Clean sheet in the last round. Despite the second half, they really had to play a lot of that second half without the football, so maybe preparation for what's to come here against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I think you can expect quite a few shots tonight. I think he'll have to be on his best form to keep Ahly within a chance of getting something from this game. But I think they've started well. They don't look too nervous. They're trying to get on the ball when they can. But again, I think we're going to be used to Bayern having a lot of the ball here.
It's the first time we've heard the referee's whistle, I think, since the game kicked off 4 minutes ago. This is what it was for.
Yeah, it's just a slap to the face a little bit, isn't it? Just caught him on his way back down. It's unintentional, but it's a free kick. Yeah.
I think I've made a bit of a meal of it, if I've been honest. But anyway, play continues. Boateng has it to that right hand side, and Pavard waiting for it. There's Kimmich there if he needs him as well, just a little bit further up the pitch. There's Roca. There's the time. Trying to turn out of the tackle. Getting good hard tackling, Stephanie, as well. They're not backing out of these challenges early on.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what they need to do, don't they? They need to really show that they're up for the game. They're not going to give them time to play the football that they like to play. But again, I think it's just about keeping compact and getting those tackles in when you can. But obviously, don't run out of position and as I said, give them that space to move in, because I think that's where they'll tear you apart.
Going for the ball from Boateng. Gives a distance there, and Davis has made a nice run. Trying to sneak it in past the challenge of Ahly, but the defender did well there. Try to Bayern. Davis looks for Miller, just over his head. Might break Connie though for Gnabry. Took a shoulder at it. Almost tempted to stick out the arm there. Play continues. Back inside it goes. From Rocca. Trying to make space for the shot. Coleman plays it wide. Davis is free again. The ball towards the box, and then back it comes to the safety of Kimmich. Lots of boos and whistles here. Well, during the last game, you'd swear it was the Qataris who should have had the most support, but it's the Egyptian side who ended up drowning out their local support. Plenty of Egyptians in and around Doha working here and making a living for themselves, and they have bought tickets to support their team there.
Yeah, and it's great to see fans in the stadium again as well, isn't it? I think it was the lads mentioned in the studio, it brings back that kind of atmosphere that you're not used to seeing, obviously with the Premier League and everything else, kind of not having fans at the games. It's nice to see fans there, and hopefully they can drum up a little bit of atmosphere here today as well.
Absolutely. Takes it back to Kimmich, slips nicely the ball in through Rocca. Nobody up there. And now a chance for Ahly to get a bit of possession here. Maybe settle things down a little bit. Ashraf, key playmaker for them. Most of what they do goes through the pocket midfielder with 19 on his back. The ball inside. Tar dropping deep for that. Again, it was the one change from the last round, and wants to spearhead that attack. Bayern have it back. Could see a lot of Tar dropping deeper than he might otherwise be accustomed to playing today, just to help out the midfield, and particularly with Bayern in possession as well. It won't be really far forward here. You can see Karabakh and Ashraf just holding that line across the defensive midfield line. This is the 1-2. Exchange. Muller couldn't get on possession though. Break for Coleman. Now we get it away. And as far as Davis, again, little flick over from Muller, just hooked away there, and nicely done as well. Had to make that challenge. Malou to get it away.
Yeah, it's good defending, isn't it? I think you can see Bayern Munich looking to play in those little areas, find those little 1-2s in the small areas of space, and in fairness to Ahly, they are closing down that space quickly and not giving them the time on the ball if they want.
Boateng threads it through. Good first touch from Muller to put it wide. Cross is going to come in. Where's Lewandowski? There he is, leaves it. Oh, beautiful header just over the bar from Gnabry. Cross too much for Lewandowski, but Gnabry in the perfect place. Got the header on it, just couldn't keep it down, Stefan.
Yeah, it's a great ball in by Pavard, isn't it? Probably looking for Lewandowski, as you mentioned, but Gnabry in the right place, trying to get his head, and it just gets underneath it a little bit, but they're the types of balls that Lewandowski wants in, and I think if he gets another one of those, it could end up in the back of the goal if it finds Lewandowski.
You see the height difference as well between himself and the defender trying to mark at the moment. He's got a huge height advantage there, so you might see Bayern get the ball wide and as many crosses as they can, looking for their star striker.
Exactly, and I think he's clever as well, isn't he? He makes that extra bit of space for himself as well, so he will try to find those areas and get into good positions to utilise those crosses.
Well, Sahad pens it wide for Ahly to try and put one into the box, but it's cut out well. Header out wide then from Al-Sulia. And then cut out from Bayern, and away they go. This is Pavard. He's right in towards Muller. Muller has support from Gnabry if he wants. Muller still going. There's the ball to Gnabry. It's behind him though, and Gnabry's hit to say either give it earlier or give it into my feet. Don't put it by me.
Yeah, I think that's a lucky break for Ahly. I think El Sahula giving the ball away at the top end of the pitch, and you can see how good they are, how quickly they break and how quick they try to get players on the ball. So I think Ahly are just going to have to be that little bit better in possession if they want to keep themselves within this touching distance in this game.
Ahly goes up the line. Just control it there, Karabakh. It's going to be a throw as he flick looks on. Again, very vocal about how unhappy they were with the manner in which they had to come over here. Anybody who's tried to sleep on an airplane, you know it's hard enough if you haven't just played a match on the Bundesliga on a Friday night, but imagine all the lactic acid going around your legs and then having to sit in an airplane and try and sleep there as well, Stephanie. That would have been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and I think as the lads mentioned, it's unlike German, isn't it? It's unlike the Germans are usually quite well organised. It's a strange one that they had to sleep on the plane in Berlin and then obviously travel from Munich on Saturday morning. So not the best preparation for the match, but I think, as we mentioned, these players are well used to preparing themselves mentally for the game, and will look to get through it in the best way they can. But again, probably not the best preparation for the game.
German efficiency, how are you? Not on that occasion, but we settled in nicely to this, dominating possession so far, and that header from Gnabry, the best chance of the game so far.
Yeah, I think Ahly just need to kind of get a hold of the ball a little bit more, keep the ball, not be too rushed to get forward, just keep a bit of possession, and as I said, save their own legs before they can try and get forward a little bit, you know.
Asher losing the ball there, dispossessed, and then Bayern give it straight back. Only a chance to put that one in to chase after it. There's Tower. It's a pretty thankless task. He's going to have a lot of those kind of runs, you imagine, to try and put himself in the chance of taking the ball. Lovely looking touch, and look at the way he goes Coleman. Superb talent, and look at him stretching his legs as well to try and get behind the fence. Pass through to Gnabry, just too much on it. But that's an example of what Coleman can do. Keeper read it brilliantly.
Yeah, it's brilliant by El Shaarawy, isn't it? On his toes, ready for that. But I just say Coleman running through the middle, just at ease. He's so good with the ball at his feet, isn't he?
So exciting to watch. Just that burst of acceleration.
I think mentioning Tahir as well, I think it is going to be a frustrating game for him, but what I will say is that I think Bayern Munich can be susceptible to that ball on the break with their high line as well, so he can make that run at the right time. He could get opportunities throughout the game.
He's going to have to keep negative as well, isn't he? And hopefully one of them clicks. But here's Kimmich for the Germans, goes to Alaba. Bolton, bit of room now. Where he goes. Coleman, don't fancy a goal here. Does fancy a goal. Can he whip in the cross? Way too much on that one. Gnabry did well. Nice touch as well. He was chopped down. Was it a free? Referee says it was. And perfect opportunity to stick another one in for you know who.
Yeah, it's really working hard and Gnabry to keep that alive, wasn't he? It's worked really hard to get that free kick. And as we mentioned before, Lewandowski with that height difference in the box here might have a chance to put the team ahead.
And it's Kimmich who's going to take it. You see the figure of Pitts Musumani, the rally coach on the sideline. Vocal enough player. He's been vocal enough in the build-up to this game as well. He said, well, the lads need to enjoy themselves, but we're probably going to try and play for penalties. I don't know how you enjoy yourself and play for penalties at the same time.
It's a dangerous one to go into a game like that, isn't it?
It is. In trouble here, though. Ball to the back post. The keeper missed it completely. Dangerous one. It's gone out for a corner, but, well, we've been praising El Shaarawy. He made a bit of a hames of that one.
Yeah, he's come out without realising I don't know what he was trying to do, really. He was never going to get it. He probably should stay put. That's bad. He's lucky he's got away at one there, hasn't he? I think that it hasn't landed on him. His defender has gotten out of trouble, yeah.
Well, they get another goal here. Bayern and Kimmich to send one in. Boateng's in there. Coleman standing right at the edge of the box there. Lots of movement. Muller, all the big men. To try and get on the end of this one. Pavard. Shaarawy needs to be accurate if he does decide to come for this ball. Beautiful ball in. This time the keeper, two hands to punch it away. Tara swings the boot at it. It's high, but it's not gone very far. A little bit fortunate there, perhaps, that Calaba was in the right place at the right time, and he tries to set free. Well, Moyer was off his line.
But what he tried to do there, I think he was being a bit ambitious to shoot from there. You can see his players not too happy with him shooting on that occasion. But yeah, I think El Shaarawy coming out and punching it. We see that a lot with keepers lately. They don't fancy catching it, and he's lucky enough that it didn't put his team in danger, I think.
I suppose if you're stretching for like that, the safest thing to do is to punch it away, but you need to make sure you get one or two fits on it.
Yeah, good clearance is needed, isn't it?
Yeah. Bayern still have it. Alaba with the Pavard on the outside. He was hit late there. Referee played advantage for a second, but none was coming, so free kick is given. There's Roca into the midfield. Looking for support. Good press and hassle there by Ahly to just put pressure on. That's what happens, Stephanie, when they put pressure on.
Exactly, yeah. Just don't give them any ease, I think. And you mentioned before, late tackle there, probably if a clever tackle just to let them know he's in a game, not giving them too much time to pick out their passes. And they're going to need to keep that up. And as I mentioned before, get a hold of the ball and try and keep hold of it. But they've started quite well, just no silly mistakes, and hopefully they can get themselves to half time.
Vic looking a little bit frustrated on that Bayern bench, but we played a quarter of an hour, so plenty of time to settle into this game, and it's a long way to go, as we mentioned, when you have the travel factor into that and what happened to them. Oh, beautiful touch and a chance to square. No, just lost it. Conway couldn't quite keep a hold of it. What a pass as well it was.
Yeah, Ironman seemed to get underneath it, didn't he? I thought he was going to clear it, and it just seemed to go over his head. But great ball into Coleman, and he just couldn't quite control it.
Here he is again. Penciled in ball to Lewandowski. First touch wasn't bad, second one just more through the leg at it. And I'm sure Ahly just relieved to see that one over the end line. Having a look at his pass.
It's a great ball in, isn't it? Yeah, it just seems to get underneath it. I thought he had a chance of flicking it off him anyway, and it's a great touch, and just lost his balance, didn't he, as he went to try and get a shot off.
And you get another opportunity from the corner here. It's a swing on in. Lewandowski leaves it go for Muller. Directs it on target. First one on target, but keeper in the right place, El Shaarawy.
It's a free header, isn't it? I think they seem to get a little bit distracted by Lewandowski, and it gives Muller that chance a little bit too far out, maybe when the pace on the ball wasn't hard enough.
Lewandowski took a deflection. Good break for Coleman. Now he's going to leave at him. And Ahly now just surely want to get this one away. Trying a little bit of fancy flick there from Karaba. I'm sure his teammates won't thank him for it, because he had 3 white jerseys around him.
Exactly, that's the type of thing they need to not do. I know, as we mentioned before, their manager has said have a bit of fun, but I think the first few minutes, the first half of the game, at least get through it and keep possession as best you can. Don't be trying any tricks or flicks where, as you mentioned, you're surrounded by Bayern Munich players.
Maybe they'll have a bit of fun when you get to the penalty shootout, Stephanie. There we go, Kimmich down the line. Gnabry back to Kimmich. Again, patient stuff from the German champions. Boateng, wide it goes. Stepping for the cross there, took a deflection and might break for Coleman, and swings one across the face of goal. Gnabry back to Lewandowski. 1-0.
That's brilliant from Gnabry, isn't it? I think any other player maybe might have had a rush of blood to the head and smashed that goal, but he had the awareness and the patience just to slip it back for Lewandowski, who made no.
Superb finish, wasn't it? Just he's cool as you like in front of goal. Looks easy, but here we go. See it again. Bit of help from the deflection.
Yeah, possibly would have been a handball as well in the build-up there if it hadn't have gone in. But yeah, great finish. And as I mentioned, it's Gnabry's awareness just to set it up for Lewandowski. And a striker of his quality is missing from there.
That's 28 goals in 27 games for Robert Lewandowski, and he had 4 players in front of him there. Still have to pick a spot. Look, the gap wasn't huge, Stephanie.
Exactly, and I think it's his first touch is perfect, isn't it? I think any young striker watching out there will see that first touch to set himself. It makes the finish that bit easier.
18th minutes, and Lewandowski pops up with the first goal of the game. Bayern looking to add another one very quickly here. Look at the shot, that's not going to trouble the goal. And Ahly, now they know we're going to have to, maybe this might shake them up a bit, Stephanie, because they know now they have to go and get another goal.
Yeah, exactly. I think that could be the worry here as well. That goal might open them up a bit too much. They might get a little bit of a rush of blood to the head and think they have to go and get a goal straight away. So I think they need to, as I said, remain patient and try and keep this Bayern Munich team at bay and take their chances when they come.
Davis. Free on the other side. It's going for the ball. I tell you what, that's not bad. Fine Coleman always seems to be in a bit of room. Miller's offering himself as a decoy here. Pass goes in, takes a deflection again, and El Shaarawy had to stop that one going for behind for a corner. Well, I don't know what he's made of the start so far. It's Moussimani, South African manager. Plenty of expats, as I said, living in Qatar to support the Egyptians. It's felt like the home fixture in the last round, but they're going to have to do something about the way this one's going so far, because I'm sure even in the wildest plans they wouldn't have hoped that Bayern Munich would get such an early goal. Let's see. Maybe they'll just keep the shape for as long as they possibly can. And if they need to force it maybe in the second half, then thinking about making a few changes. But Bayern have it and they look very comfortable.
Yeah, it's just those three in behind Lewandowski, Coleman, Muller and Gnabry. The movement of them is unbelievable. And I think, as you said before, that the players need to not maybe follow those players, just watch the space and don't let those gaps open up, because that's where they will tear them apart.
Absolutely. Thomas Muller still going strong. What a servant he's been to Bayern, indeed to Germany over the years. He doesn't have the pace of a few years ago, but technically still so good.
Yes, the technique and I think even more so his game intelligence. You can see he knows the game so well, and obviously, as you mentioned, playing for Bayern for so many years, he's used to kind of to playing with those players around him and commanding the play, and really he is a great servant to Bayern Munich.
No question. I'm not quite ready to stop yet, I'd say. A little bit awkward there for Afshfat. Gets the ball back. It's better from Ahly. Kharaba. Back to Ashfat. It's much better now. Can they get the first real attack of the game going forward here? Ashford racing to support there, and Kharaba as well. Can they get this in the shot, or even maybe get it on targets? Decided to go alone and just couldn't get past the long legs.
That's better play though, isn't it? Their build-up play is much better and they're getting that run in behind, but it's just that last final bit was lacked a bit of quality. But
he plays it in, the header goes in there. Another opportunity from Taher. First real shot from him as well, the lone striker, and that's much better, Stephanie. Yeah,
they're having a go, aren't they? They're trying to do the right thing. It's just, as we mentioned, that little bit of quality in the final third, which they're missing just now. But it's better from them. They're trying to open Bayern up a little bit and get that space in behind, as we mentioned before.
Kimmich takes it for Bayern. Nice ball in. A little bit awkward. Lewandowski says that did come off an Ahly defender, so a chance to look at the attack here.
Yeah, he tries to come back out again on his right foot. I think once he comes in on his right, or on his left foot, should I say, once he comes in on that right foot, I think he needs to pull the trigger and get that shot on goal. You never know, could get a parry from the goalkeeper. It's when he tries to check back to his left, it just kind of ruins the opportunity for him.
Gnabry did think about taking the quick one, but he's going to leave it for Kimmich. Again, plenty of white jerseys to aim for. He's swinging cross, keeper comes for it. Again, wasn't too confident over it, but he got the crucial touch, and that's what counts. And Ahly trying to come away with it now through El Sahat. It's gone for a throw.
Yeah, Elche now he's flapping at a few of them, isn't he? I think he's been quite lucky with his clearances aren't falling to a Bayern Munich player, because I think he could be punished if he continues that. He needs to be a little bit more commanding and control that area a bit better, I think.
Ahly would take it. Now he can just settle down onto the ball a little bit more and get some possession. As he said, it is really tiring when you don't have the ball. Taher dropping really deep. He's lost possession though. Luckily, defender in the right place to get it back. Little dummy, could work out nicely. Hany's after it, and he gets the block down as well. Still Ahly. Got two in front of him. Still Ahly going. Lovely little break. There's the strength and the power to get the ball back. But I tell you what, for a moment there, it looked like Ahly were on for a break. And that man responsible for it. It's counter-attack now from Bayern. Gnabry's lost his feet. Was it a free? Referee's whistle is gone. I think Bayern get the benefit of the decision here.
He's had a few bites at him there, hasn't he? I think it is a free kick. But yeah, brilliant by Ahly, I think, to get himself that high up the pitch and show that determination. He nearly pulled it off, or nearly played off for him. But it's good to see him getting up there and trying to support the attack the way he did.
So Kimmich standing over it. 12,500 fans in the stadium making their voices felt. 95% of those, I would guess, are supporting the Egyptian side. Gnabry just had Davis there on a run down that left side, but he opted to come back to Kimmich. Going through the midfield now. Gnabry once more. Nice little touch. Gnabry gets it back. Might create space for the shot here. Off it goes. It comes down to just pulled wide by Roca. Couldn't quite keep it on target. Lovely little interchange between the three players here. Space opened up, and he probably should have hit the target, Steph.
Yeah, it's really integral play, isn't it, from Gnabry and Lewandowski to set that chance up for Roca. Just dragged it wide, didn't he? I think, in fairness to the defender coming across, he does enough to put him off. But yeah, it's really well worked opportunity, and probably disappointed he didn't get it on target.
Plenty of water needed, I think, even in the early stages now.
Yeah, I think it's grab your break while you can, I think, isn't it, for the defenders there now?
I mean, just to give people an idea, Steph, when you don't have the ball and you're constantly having to defend and chase the ball and chase players as well, it is exhausting, right?
Exactly, and I think when you look at the players, I think particularly the likes of Muller, Lewandowski, they're not going to let you have that break when you do have the ball. They're going to be quick to chase you down and win it back, so it can become tiresome to when you do win the ball to lose it straight away. You're just, do you keep going? You know, it's hard to then have that mentality to keep going and look to get on the ball. So Ahly, as I said, are going to have to be determined and really look to try and get on the ball when they can. But as we mentioned, it's a different story when you don't have possession of that ball. Yeah,
and the mental concentration as well as anything else, to keep focus as well, to track all the players that you're supposed to be keeping an eye on, and that in and of itself is a difficult thing to keep up for a large majority of a game. So I'm just hoping that they get a spell where they get the ball back.
They've shown a little bit of promise, to be fair, on their recent attack, so hopefully, as I said, you can get it for their benefit anyway. They can get a hold of that ball and try and create a couple more chances. I think that might give them that little bit of belief.
Back it goes from Roca. Kimmich. Wide it goes. That's Pavard putting it in field again. No panic, no rush, taking the time. Out wide here is Javonte Davis. Coming a little touch in the field to Lewandowski. Muller just took his time on it. Out it goes to Gnabry. Little dink into the box, flicked on. And where's that ball gone? Right by Connie for Roca. Shot at goal. Well saved.
Yeah, it's straight at the keeper, isn't it? But I think Roca before that, his little disguised pass out to Gnabry was brilliant. It was just Gnabry's little dink into the box didn't quite work out, but really good play again, integral play. You can see Gnabry getting wide, you have Pavard and Alphonso Davies getting forward, and those three players just linking up in the middle. It's a nightmare for Ahly to deal with, but fortunate for them there that shot was straight at the keeper from Roca.
Bayern have it back. So 26.5 minutes gone. Lewandowski's goal separating the sides in this FIFA Club World Cup semi-final, placing the final up for grabs on Thursday. Nice the ball over the top. Decent run onto it as well by El Shahat into the corner here. Needs to work his magic. He's kept it in play. Did well, El Shahat, and then they'll start to put it out wide. And Davis, and it should be an Ahly throw.
Yeah, he's done well, El Shahat there. Get his team up the pitch, and Alphonso Davies sticks with the task and keeps the play. But it's a well-earned break for his team, and hopefully they can get on the ball up this end of the pitch and cause some trouble for Bayern Munich.
So Ahly's gone off and Ibrahim has come in. A bit earlier, I'm sure that he would have been expecting it, but just to make an impression on it. Fatty wins it back and then gives it away.
It's just a bit of a mix-up in communication there, I think, wasn't it? They got in each other's way.
Kimmich. Nice little control. That was a foul. No question about it by Ayman, and right in front of the referee as well. Frustrated soul, I'm sure. It looks like a hamstring where the ice is there, Stephanie.
Yeah, it's not nice. He's have to go off that early, I think, but once you know the hamstring, I think once that's gone, there's no coming back from it. So unfortunate for himself, but fresh legs on, I think, might help him as well a little bit.
Absolutely. Probably want another 4 or 5 fresh legs on, but we'll see how they get on here. Lewandowski on this left flank. It's often see him dropping that deep towards his own halfway line, but comfortable at the back then from Alaba and Boateng. Owen. Kimmich. Roca. Nice interchange. Gnabry went to his face with a shot here. Beautiful strike. Straight at the keeper, but that was a rocket.
Great strike, wasn't it? Done so well to open his body up and get that opportunity for himself to get the shot off. But again, I think it's lucky for El Shaarawy that it is straight at him. But as you mentioned, great power behind it. Anywhere else, I think that could be heading into the goal.
Absolutely. Just straight down the throat of the keeper, though.
Again, it's patient build-up, I think, from Bayern Munich. You can see they're trying to find Coleman out that right-hand side with that switch of play sometimes. But again, it's just patient, keep the ball, get them moving and look for those gaps.
Absolutely. He does seem to have a measure of the left back, and it does go wide. Alaba plays it in field. Roca. Kimmich. Space on the right-hand side as well if they want to switch the direction to Pavard, but they're going to go through the middle here. Lewandowski. One-touch stuff. And again, lovely to see. Gnabry. Still one touch and still possession. That was 2. Kimmich. Muller. Through ball. Lewandowski, the touch evading him. And composure at the back there from Ben-Nun to get it away.
Yeah, it's not like Lewandowski, is it?
No.
The touch of him there, as you said, but a lovely little bit of interplay from Bayern there. One touch football. It's just a joy to watch.
How will your touch be when you start pre-season back this week, Stephanie?
Will
take you a while.
I think I'd be worried about the running more than my touch, to be honest. I think the touch will come a little bit later. It's the fitness you worry about in pre-season.
Yeah. Don't fancy the snow forecast all this week, but anyway.
A cold one, all right.
Kimmich just looking for options again. Bayern in no rush. You don't have to be at full tilt here just to be comfortable. Muller with a little slip inside, but Lewandowski was too far away from him. And Ahly get it back. I'm trying to keep this for as long as they possibly can now and to settle into it a little bit more than they have done. Ahly. Wide it goes. Here's Fati. Going down the left flank. Kimmich coming across as we approach half an hour played. Wide it goes. Decent block from Tahir's attempted cross.
Yeah, it's a tired cross, I think, isn't it? I think it's good play to get into that position, but he may be in a rush to get it into the box and try to create something. It's a good block from the defender.
There's Muller helping out at the back. Walker. Lovely. It's Kimmich. Stab up the line again where Coleman is calling for it. And is first to get there. Tries the quick feed to get away from his marker who's just on the pitch, Ibrahim, and maybe not quite at the pace of the game yet. That surely was a trip, but the referee's whistle has stayed silent, and Coleman can't believe it.
I don't think anybody in the stadium can believe it. It's a free kick all day long, isn't it? But again, I think Ahly there got themselves into a bit of a mix-up. You see two of the players pressing the play, and just it opens up that space behind them if they decide to go with everyone else not going. So you have to be really careful with that. If they're going to press the centre half, so they'll get their whole team up the pitch, or they're going to be susceptible to that counter attack.
A beautiful ball inside, trying to turn for the crossing there, but only there for Bayern defenders. Kimmich got a high foot away from it as well, just to hack it clear. Arba and Tafgar making a nuisance of themselves. Here's Ashfat. I don't fancy a shot. It was a kind of a, I don't know whether it was a kind of a half shot or cross, but it had to be dealt with.
Yeah, I think it was a shot that turned into a good cross, didn't it, really? Any touch there from, I think, was it Tahir in the middle there? Any touch from that could go anywhere, yeah. But yeah, it's...
Coming away with it. Comes in field, Lewandowski just lost it. That's now twice in a row that the touch has let him down.
Yeah, I think they're marking him tightly, aren't they? They're not giving him a second on the ball, and I think it won't be long till he finds that little bit of space when those defenders get a bit tight, but they are getting tight to him and not giving him the chance to set that ball as he would like to.
A couple of niggly little fill out tackles going in from the Egyptian side. Just there's another example. And whatever bit the referee missing the tackle on Coleman there, I mean, the linesman was literally standing looking right beside him. And Coleman wasn't too happy with him either. But anyway, Bayern have it. 13 minutes to half-time. One goal.
I think we expect those little tackles, don't we? But I think it's when it becomes maybe a threat to the player that you expect the referee to protect them a little bit better. But right now it's just being kind of niggly little challenges to show them in the game. But hopefully it won't get too dirty, and as I said, players being in danger of being injured. But so far I think it's Ahly just trying to make sure that Bayern Munich could win a game.
Absolutely. Alphonso Davies going to take the throw quickly. Back it goes to Alaba. Goes to Boateng. And loads of room on that right hand side for Bayern to launch another attack. No rush to do so. More dropping deep. Here's Roca. Spreads it back to the left hand side. Alphonso Davies again. Kimmich. Again, Ahly just setting the defensive shape. They're quite happy to let the back two have it and then try and pick out passes like that, and then perfect opportunity for a counter-attack. Afshat spreads it wide, gets it back, needs a bit of help now. Slow to arrive in the back-up, but managing to keep the ball, and they're forced all the way back inside their own half. From one stage it looked like a decent counter-attacking opportunity, and now it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think you just look at Muller there, how quickly he got back. It's players like that who who really kind of work well in the Bayern Munich team. They're not giving the other team a chance to make that break. But I think, in fairness to Ahly, they were right to keep possession. They didn't try to force it. They went back to their keeper and tried to keep a hold of the ball. But it's good by Bayern Munich to get around the ball and make sure they win it back as well.
Absolutely. Kimmich takes it in the centre midfield. Nice for the team so far. Into the ball towards Lewandowski. Can't quite control it. And it should be goal kick. It is.
I think Lewandowski's given out that kind of skipped up off the ground, didn't it? It wasn't or off the pitch, it wasn't on the ground to him. But again, defenders getting close to him, not giving him that sniff, because I think they know exactly what he's like in the box, and he will harm you like he has with his goal if he gets that space. But I think try to keep finding him, and the other players will work around him. But good play by Bayern Munich, just not quite the touch that or the pass, should I say, that Lewandowski wanted.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. It wasn't just keep it on the ground if you all can, but these kind of players, I suppose it's what Lewandowski has been expected in getting over the years. The service into him has been brilliant. It's Coleman building up a sweat out there. The heat and humidity, I mean, it doesn't really matter what time of year it is in Doha. I remember being there in October for Michael Conlon's World Gold Medal and getting off the plane at the end of October, and it's still something like 39 degrees over there. So even in the winter time over there, it's still pretty heavy.
Yeah, I think that's another factor, isn't it? And I think the 5 substitutes in this is probably something that will come into factor with the teams. I think they'll need to use a few subs in the second half. I think with the heat that's out there, it can be difficult to play in.
And Ahly with the throw. Can they get another decent attack in the next few minutes and maybe try and pull one back here and get level? Living off scraps at the moment, as they probably prepared for and expected. Nonetheless, though, going to try and force something here to give themselves a chance. Back on level terms. That was on the bench, but they've already played one substitute. Ibrahim coming on. Back it goes from Davis to Alaba and then Boateng. Little touch, Lewandowski back heel, beautiful done. Kimmich with the space for the shot. Oh, beautiful pass to Lewandowski. Chips it over the top. Beautiful build-up by the pair. Kimmich to Lewandowski. He's appealing for the corner.
Yeah, we've seen that ball through the middle, haven't we, from Rocca, and then there from the defender into Canabria. And we've spoken about him with his unselfishness, but in that instance, he probably should have a shot. Yeah, it's a corner, isn't it? How's he missed that? I think it did come off the keeper, did it?
It did. Gnabry back inside. Lewandowski. Space for the shot. Took a deflection. Asher can't quite get there first. Get a chance to get it back here, though. Whistle sounded, and again, Ahly getting the referee's decision. And a couple have gone against Bayern Munich, you have to say. El Shahad not too happy about it. In fairness, they've given as good as they've got in terms of the tackles, so kind of too much to complain about on that front. Ten shots so far for Bayern, just the 3 for the Egyptians. Lovely ball. Now, a chance to spread this one wide if they can. Afsha trying to come infield, looks for the through ball, had to be cut out and was. Chance still there, perhaps. Across the face of goal. Kimmich takes it. Shoulder comes to Rocca. Gnabry. Alaba to Boateng. Kimmich. Rocca. Kimmich. Little run by midfielder. Cut out well. Davis. Kimmich again. Making himself available for all those little short passes into the midfield. And this time they spread to the right-hand side. Pavard can't quite get past Tahir. And Bayern take the throw quickly. Little dummy from Coleman. Wide it goes. Pavard with the cross. Coleman nods it back. Muller, ball in towards Lewandowski. He's going to hit the header. Back it goes. Kimmich swings the boot, but complete miss. Opportunity still there, though. Davis brings it onto the right foot. tried the near post. Alphonso Davies just couldn't find the target.
Yeah, I think Lewandowski's not too happy with him, not to slide him through there, isn't he? But it's a good effort and probably deserved the shot. I think Kimmich just mistimed his volley there, didn't he? As he comes inside, maybe could he slip Lewandowski there, but I don't think anybody can blame him for having a shot. He's just dragged it that little bit wide, but it's good pressure from Bayern Munich to close up the space after they've had the attack. They're on top of them again to try and win it back, and that's exactly what you expect from this team.
Lovely little interchange and build up towards that shot from Davies. Again, another little late stab goes in on the side of the foot there. Referee's whistle has gone this time. Ahly's protesting his innocence, but I think the referee's had enough of those little legally tackles.
I think you're going to see more and more of that as the game goes on. I think tiredness will come into it as well. It's, again, nothing malicious. I think it's just that late timing on the tackle, and he catches them. It's unintentional, I don't think. And as I said, as the game goes on and tiredness starts to kick in, we will see more of them, I'm sure.
Absolutely. This is the referee, but free kick was given to Bayern as we approach 5 minutes left in the first half. Forward it comes, Alba sends it forward. That's not a bad looking ball, but Ahly getting high to win the header and cut it out. This one might fall kindly though for Coleman, and it has done. Again, another strong tackle goes in. Afshat leaves it, Kimmich has it. Boateng, Coleman, wide it goes. Harvard plays it infield. Coleman again, looking for the cross this time. Cut out nicely. Back it goes to Manuel Neuer. Hasn't had a huge amount to do, the Bayern Munich captain.
Yeah, it's been comfortable enough for Bayern Munich, isn't it? I think Kimmich and Roca looking to get on the ball, having a lot of time on the ball in midfield there. I think the closer it gets to goal, that the midfield area gets a little bit more crowded, but they seem to be comfortable in possession and finding those little passes and switches out to Coleman here, who's been very influential throughout the game. I think he's been their biggest threat.
Absolutely, good header by Ayman there to cut out that long pass. And here's Roca. Miller. Little deflection, still there though. Harvard leaves it. Foul though on Coleman. And Ahly aren't happy. It's Ibrahim, the Kinsey player. You will see it again, Stephanie.
Yeah, he's given out. I think maybe thinks Coleman's made the most of it, but I don't think so. I think he's come right through him, hasn't he? It's definitely a free kick. And Coleman's kind of getting the treatment, isn't he, really?
He is. Every time he's had the ball in the last 10 minutes or so, he's been kind of hacked at, but this is a dangerous position for a free kick. It's Kimmich standing over it. Alba's with them as well. Plenty to aim at here. Look at Boateng.
Yeah, just going to say, over the ball, words out of my mouth there. Yeah, the height difference between the likes of Boateng and Lewandowski coming up to that box. I think it's something that they will worry about.
I wonder how much it costs to get a tattoo removed these days.
That's one you'd be regretting anyway, I'm sure.
Just Jerome, because there was a picture in the paper and everything as well. Big sad face, I'll tell you what. Anyway, Kimmich to take this one. Can we find another Bayern player? Low one. Oh, it's awkward. If anybody in white jerseys, palmed away by El Shanawi. It was a free shot at goal. Still the opportunity there, though. No. Chance to counter-attack here. Well, Ahly away. 5 players forward. Lost ball though from Ayman. Should have given the pass. Just took too much out of it. And a promising attacking position results in a loss of possession. Yeah,
again, I think you see the willing and determination of the Bayern players to get back and win that ball back and not let them break. I think it shows, as I said, the work rate of the team, and they want to get back on the ball and play. They don't want to let this team get into the game in any way. But yeah, the breakaway just didn't quite happen there for them.
Fati plays it back. Afshat. Just better from Ahly, just keeping possession for a while. In a rush to play the miracle ball through if he can hang on to the ball. Here's Benoun. His hands full trying to track the runs of Lewandowski all night. Happy to just use at the time with a bit of possession for a change. A minute left to go, plus injury time. Nice ball down the midfield. Could have taken a bit of time there. Ashra goes up for it. Never going to win that header. Might break Coyne, though it has done as well. And it goes from El Sahat back to Ahly. Ahly can't quite get the pass on target. Alfonso Davies has to see that one out. Meyer has his hands on it. Is it a goal kick? Yes, it is.
I think that's better from Ahly and having that little bit of patience in their build-up. I think Hanny's probably a little bit too anxious to get forward there, and he nearly gives the opportunity for Bayern to break. I think they need to try and keep a hold of that ball, maybe in the defence, just pass it around, get Bayern moving a little bit before they could find that killer ball up forward, you know.
Back it goes. Here's Sahat across to the left-hand side of the pitch where there's a little bit more room, and now fans of the Egyptian side are urging their team to get forward as we see 1 minute of injury time left in the first half. Is there time and room for Ahly to have an attack before the half-time whistle goes? Not a bad position to start from here. Here's Karaba, wide it goes. Sahat plays it back to Ahly, and again control. This goes in, has to be dealt with. One time just swings a foot at it. Coming out of trouble is El Sulia. Ashfa. There it goes. Plenty of white jerseys back now, and Bayern having to do a bit of defending really for one of the few times in this first half. Possession back.
Yeah, I think the first half has gone exactly how Bayern Munich would have liked. I think getting that early goal and controlling possession, really, didn't they, throughout that first half? I think Ahly just need to get themselves going for the second half and hopefully come back out firing.
Well, that man's goal has given Bayern Munich a 1-0 lead as the half-time whistle sounds. The second half and analysis coming up after the break.
Early here, Stewie?
I do, yeah. I think they're just, you know, to be honest, the first 10-15 minutes they weren't at their best at all, but then suddenly the wave came, and I think they've got their mojo now. They seem to have hit that spot, and I think it looks to me like Ahly a little bit fearful of them now, and that's always a dangerous place to be in.
All right, well, we shall see. As you can see, back out on the pitch, so let's rejoin our commentary team, Stephanie Roach and Hugh Cal.
Thanks very much indeed, Jackie, and you can see Robert Lewandowski just getting the old socks sorted before he comes back onto the pitch. I mean, Stephanie, if you're at Ahly at the moment, what can you do here? I mean, they were outplayed for large portions of that first half. They had a couple of chances and that they might have got something out of, but is there anything drastic they can do in the second half?
I think from Pizzo Matsamane's point of view, I think he probably would have had to try and remain positive at half-time. As we said before, he spoke about wanting to go to penalties. It's still 1-0, they're still within a chance of getting it. Bayern Munich maybe haven't had too many shocks this season, but they did get knocked out on penalties in the German Cup with a late equaliser against Holstein Kiel. So I think there maybe things like that could be said in the dressing room. Look, you're in the game, try to keep yourself within the game, within touching distance of Bayern. I think the fear, as the lads mentioned, is that Bayern will step it up a level and maybe score another and the floodgates open. But I think from Ahly's point of view, they need to try and keep themselves within this game, and as I said, you never know in football. There's been bigger shocks that they could come back into, and they could force penalties and get the result they want in this game.
Absolutely, there 100% has been. That's the thing we know about sports, that anything is possible, and the second half still to go. They do have the option, of course, of looking at Walter Bwalya, who started the last game, and the Congolese striker, only recently signed for Ahly, and he played quite well, I thought, in the last round, but obviously coach went for a different option up front this time, and it remains to be seen if we're going to see him. Tahir's player brought in for him in the one change from the last round, but there is options there. They just need a little bit more possession and to take whatever chances come their way.
Exactly, just keep themselves in the game, in touching distance, and I think pretty much what we're going to see is pretty much the same as the first half, and maybe they might have a little bit of an extra go at times, but I think it's important that they, as I said, they keep themselves in their shape and they don't let Bayern get that second goal, because I do fear from if they get that second goal, as I mentioned, the floodgates might open and the quality of that Bayern front four will shine through.
Absolutely. Ayman to take the throw. Back he goes to Afshar into the centre of midfield. Pressure on though every time they take a touch on the ball. There seems to be 3 or 4 white jerseys ready to pounce on it, so see if we can get something down that far side. Here's El Shahat trying to come in field. Might work out okay from just behind the right foot there of El Sulia. Otherwise He might have been able to bring it towards goal. Ayman. Afsha. Into the centre midfield again he goes. Just trying to roll the foot on it, El Sulia there, but as soon as he did so, he had Muller breathing down his neck. Another nice run on at the top if he finds him. Too much on the pass though. Infield it goes to Rocca, and Bayern come away with it. No, they don't. Muller gives it away.
It's not like him, is it?
No.
The stoppy pass. But again, I think that's better from Ahly. I think keep possession, try and switch the play, and really get Bayern moving the way they have them moving. You know, I think that's tiresome, as we said in the first half. I think not having the ball, it's a tired game to play. So I think if they can keep possession and, as I said, move the ball side to side and get that Bayern team working, I think that could help them in terms of keeping the ball and getting themselves back into this game.
Fanti goes back. Centre back. First touch for Shamawi in the second half. Just to find Hani on that right hand side. It's not a bad header towards Afsha. Back to Hani. Keeping that ball amongst teammates and away from Bayern Munich. Still have it. Nice string of passes. Al Sulia did well to turn away. Fati into the midfield. Better now from Ahly, and they're growing in confidence early on in this second half. Wide it goes. Chance to put it in from Ayman. If he can get a bit of room to make space for the shot, he has done so. But unfortunately, he's given it straight to Manuel Neuer.
Yeah, I think he got a bit of a rush of blood to the head, didn't he? I think you could see, was it Caraba who wanted it to feet? He was looking for a little ball in between the lines, but yeah, he opted for that cross into the box. It just didn't quite work out. Straight into the hands of Neuer.
Better build-up though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's better patient play. I think they're dealing with that pressure from Bayern Munich. I think they should be used to it after that first half. Bayern aren't going to let them have the ball and give them the time probably they have been used to in other games, you know. So that first half game will probably have brought them into the game a bit better, and they're moving the ball quicker and they're getting used to, as I said, that pressure from Bayern Munich when they do have the ball.
Albert took the throw, put it to his centre backs, and Alaba taking his time here. There's the roll back, looking for support now, gets it. Centre half back partner. Dalton plays it to Pallard. Infield it goes towards Miller. Second to it though. Again, good pressure from Ahly. Down, I think it's Afsha's on the ground. The whistle's gone, and Rocca just told to calm it down. Looking like butter would have melted in his mouth though.
Yeah, it's not too unlike Ahly in the first half, is it? He's come across to try and get it. Probably not much in it, if I'm honest, but probably just a little bit caught the player in the tackle as well. But yeah, it's, as I said, better play from Ahly. They're starting to impose themselves in this game a little bit better.
Just 3 shots on goal so far for Ahly, 2 of them on target in that first half. In the quarter-final, for comparison, they had 16 shots at goal, 6 of which were on the button, including that goal that proved to be the match winner. Here they are with the possession though, and El Shahat has it. Still inside the box, space for the shot, just couldn't get the strike on it, planted his foot, just couldn't get the contact, El Shahat, but better from Ahly.
Yeah, it's better. It's unlucky at the crowded box he's hit it against the Bayern player, but I think the initial play, that ball over the top for Caraba, is probably how they're going to catch them out. I think if they can keep possession and look for those passes in behind, I think that's where they will get their opportunity. So again, much better from Ahly.
Throwing this far side then to Hani, looking for a teammate. Caraba has gone down the line. He's got 1, 2, 3 in front of him. Decent throw to find him. Nice space as well. Trying to nick it past Rocca, who's standing in front of him, but Bayern get it away. Lewandowski wins the header. Gnabry has it that left-hand side. Gnabry bursting down the left. He's got 1 in front of him and 1 just to the side of him. Flicks it past. That's lovely play on the left flank by Gnabry. Still going. Has he won the corner? No. Really good defending from Ben-Un, and then loses it. Coleman this time. Good attacking platform for Bayern Munich. Gnabry trying to bring it onto his left foot. He goes down. Didn't look like a foul to me here.
It's not a penalty, or not a foul. I'm not sure if it's quite inside the box, but he's trying to look for it, I think. But again, it's really good by Coleman in the build-up. Gnabry probably doesn't have many options in the box and comes back in, and Coleman's straight on it again to win it back. But that's like brilliant to see from Bayern Munich. They're not letting them settle. They're looking to try and get on the ball as quick as they can after they lose possession.
I think he was looking for that foul all right, and in fairness, you know, I think it was Ben-Un, the defender, came across. He did leave his leg trailing. If you leave your leg out like that, you're just inviting any of the forwards to go down if there's any contact. So
yeah, it's a dangerous one, isn't it?
Yeah, don't blame Manny for trying it, but just got to be a little bit clever at the back. Ahly, as Kimmich has it, wide he goes. Lewandowski sends it back. Alaba. Cut out though, and very easily cut out. Pavard is chasing back now. It's 3-on-4 here for Ahly. Where's the space for the shot potentially, or the cross even, I should say. Tahir trying to hold up for a minute, but lost possession, and his teammates aren't too happy with him. He's doing a bit of composure there and play the smart ball. Instead he's giving it away, and a chance to break. There's Alphonso Davies, lovely ball. Lewandowski was one to the left, one to the right. Lovely little through ball here to Muller. Space for the shot, across it goes. Still with Muller. Thought he might have a go there. He was looking for the pass in the far post where Coman was. Back it comes to Muller, trying to direct it. Easy one for El Shenawi.
Yeah, it's good play, isn't it? Muller involved again. It's a nice little dink over the top from Kimmich, I think it is, and just doesn't catch that, does he? Another day he's hitting across the 6-yard box for Lewandowski to tap it in. And again, I think the Ahly getting forward, but it's just getting players forward. You can see the Bayern players just rushing back to get back and defend, and he's waiting to hold the play up to try and get his players forward. But by the time he gets players forward, the Bayern players are back to take it off them, you know.
That's exactly it. And Bayern have it again here. Kimmich looking for Lewandowski. He's dropping a little bit deep. Any options really to go forward. So Kimmich takes it just inside the Ahly half. Davies gets it back. Walker. Coman. Space for Coman. Into the box he goes, trying to pull one back. Cut out well, and well read, you'd have to say as well. El Sulia.
Yeah, it's a great first touch by Coman again, isn't it, to set himself away there.
Chance here, Kharaba plays it out wide. Have to come back and cover that. El Shahat has managed to do well. Still El Shahat staying on his feet now inside the box, looking for the cross into Kharaba. Can't quite find his man. Al Ahly have it back. They've started the second half really well though, Stephanie Roach, and I tell you, this is the best spell we've seen from them in the game so far.
Yeah, I think he needs to pick out Tahir there, doesn't he? He's sitting on the edge of the box just looking for that pass across to get a shot on goal, and it's the wrong decision in the end, but again, much better. I think you can see Alphonso Davies getting threatened with that ball in behind him, but his pace recovers, gets him and get back in time. But again, much better from Ahly and getting into those positions a little bit more often here in the second half.
Ahly sends it forward, back it comes. It's the midfielder, Fati's waiting. That one was, I don't think he quite meant it as strong a first touch, but it's worked out okay.
He got lucky, didn't he?
He did, then the poor first touch on the near side. Should have done better, really, Ayman, to control that. Animated figure from Pitts, Mossiamani on the sideline. Kimmich turning away from trouble. Back it goes. And Alaba to Boateng.
I think speaking of Pitts Mossiamani, he's known as the Pep Guardiola of African football as well, so you can see that his team will want to play a bit of football, and I think he will try to encourage that as the game goes on. But I think my worry is, if you look at that Bayern Munich bench and the players they have to come on, I think if they're going to get back into this game, I think they do need to try and maybe go a little bit sooner rather than later, because I think as soon as Sane and the likes can come on, it's that extra energy and that extra quality on the pitch that would be difficult to deal with for them.
Probably not as moody as Pep Guardiola, that'd be fair to say. Who is?
No comments.
No comments. Better off. Right, chance to counter here. Away they go. Lovely touch inside to Kharaba. Edge of the box, looking for support. Trying to tread one back through. Bayern defence held strong, and I think it was Boateng who just got the touch there.
Yeah, you can just see that Al Ahly are just a little bit reluctant to commit those bodies forward, and whenever they do get forward, they just seem to be outnumbered by the Bayern players getting back into defence. So it's a difficult one for those forward players to try and pick out one of their own players and make something off that counter attack as they get forward.
Kimmich spreads it wide to Alphonso Davies, back to his centre midfielder. He's looking for options. Coleman's dropped deep. Roca, bit of room. Wide it goes. Sends in the cross. Headed wide first time. Harvard looking for someone in the box there, but nobody available. Here's Alaba again. Coleman gets it back. Kimmich. Wide it goes. Coleman making space here. nobody with him so far. He's going to try and do it all on his own. Eventually took a deflection and went away from Ibrahim.
Yeah, Coleman getting involved again. Probably haven't seen as much as him in this second half. And Bayern Munich maybe need to try and get him on the ball and get him into those positions where he can make those half chances as such. But he's so tricky on the ball and hard to defend against.
Took him for a few challenges as well in that first half for the amount of ball he was getting, I think. And now he just had marked him out as one of the danger men. Here's Kimmich with the cross. Going to have to be on their toes here to get this one away. The header goes in from Muller, I think it was. What did he got the touch there?
He's done well to get on, hasn't he? I think he's got a defender right in front of him to get his head across. He's brave. It's a good touch over. I think it might just be going in over off the bar maybe, but it's the keeper makes sure just to be safe.
Just to be sure, Exactly. But Muller did well to get the head on that one. And Kimmich again to go wide and take it. Just a bit of pushing and jostling in the box there. Referee wants to calm things down a little bit. All standing within about 3 feet of each other, aren't they? The entire area. But
yeah, it's a close group of players within there. It could go in off anyone. If it's a decent enough ball in here, it could cause confusion.
If you were Coleman though, you'd be pegging towards the back post, wouldn't you? There's nobody there at the moment.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do here. It could be something from the training ground. You might see somebody spinning off into that back post area, as you mentioned, the free space. Yeah, it's a crowded area. As I mentioned, it could go in off anyone here if the ball is right.
And it goes to the front post. Gnabry flicks it on to Muller. Just couldn't get any power in it. It was a training ground move. It almost worked out. First touch from Gnabry. Muller at the back post. Easy one in the end for the keeper.
They nearly made us look good there, I think.
Psychic Stephanie, huh? This is gone for a foul. But yeah, it was a decent move. Just Muller couldn't direct any power onto the shot. And Sulia. Like it comes to Fati. And Ahly. Bit of time for him. Poor pass, cut out, intercepted. Kimmich gets a foot on it. Gnabry. Coleman now sets off. Coleman trying to just direct it in field, manages to find Lewandowski. Needs a bit of help now, and the support arrives in the shape of Alphonso Davies. Room for Davies now, and he's going to take a bit of time. Poor first touch given away. Afshar on the end of it, and he gets it back as well. Afshar's got to do all the work on his own now. Just one in support. I think it's Karaba who's making the run to try and support him. It is Karaba in the box now. Nice turn from him. He was asking for that to be hit, but he did have the big figure of Alaba marshalling him pretty well.
Yeah, it's the same thing again, isn't it? I think credit to Bayern Munich. They're getting back in numbers quickly. They're not letting Ahly take that kind of counter-attack and get onto the space. You could see he looks up, he's only got one option, and it's very difficult in that position to try and pick him out with all the Bayern Munich players around them. But really, really good defensive work from Bayern Munich.
Yeah, they got back so quickly. They're so composed as well. And experience in that back four. So why would there be anything else? But there's Kimmich coming away with it. Afshar's pass there, just got no power into it. He was trying to play it right across the edge of the box, but he slipped almost as he went to make contact and gave possession away. Bayern have it. That Viking clap doesn't sound like it's going anywhere anytime soon.
They're doing their best to get it going. I think it's not happening, is it?
A chance here, perhaps. Decent defending though, calm defending as well. Let's take it off Tahir's foot.
Calm and strong and composed in that position, isn't he? He's just so experienced defender. He knows exactly what to do in those situations.
Absolutely. Chance here now for Ibrahim. Short it goes. Karaba loses it. Back it comes to Coleman. And then across to Alaba. Kimmich. Half an hour left. Robert Lewandowski's goal. Inside 17 minutes, the difference between the sides. Coleman to Kimmich, tries to go on the outside. Can he get the pass away? No. Chance to counter again from here now. What have we got from this position? El Sulia. Again, Bayern get back in numbers. Again, they get back quickly.
Yeah, I think Alphonso Davies' pace gets him out of trouble a lot of the time. You can see he goes to make that run to get forward and it's cut out, but he's back. His pace is able to catch up with the play. And again, as I mentioned before, I think Bayern's defensive work is really kind of not giving Al Ahly much of a chance when they do get in those positions to get forward.
Space for Muller here, plays it in field, and microwave kindly for Muller again. Just couldn't get a touch on it. Was that a shove in the back? Looked like it from here. Referee agrees, free to Al Ahly, which I'm sure they want to settle things down a little bit. So, first substitution, Choupo-Moting, and it's no surprise, I guess, to see Muller going off on a decent game.
Yeah, I think credit to, as I said, Al Ahly have kind of kept us from that front four that we were talking about quiet in the second half, and I think Sané and Choupo-Moting will shake things up a little bit, and as I said before, bring that little bit of energy that maybe Bayern need to try and go and get that second goal to kill the game off.
Well, there you go, speak of the devil, and there is Sané, and it's Gnabry who's going off, so there's a bit of pace for you.
It's not what you want to see as an Al Ahly player, is it, coming onto the pitch, being faced with that?
Definitely not. So Sané, of course, former Manchester City. Seems like ages since he was there, but you know, it's lightning quick, fresh legs as well. He caused real damage, and here he is with his first touch of the game. Just trying to get the hands. It looked like it took a bit of a dig to the face there. He went down holding his face anyway.
Yeah, I think Alphonso Davies just a little bit loose at his first touch and followed through, didn't he? I think he's probably found it a little bit difficult. I think Alphonso Davies, he's come back from injury. He's probably had that little bit of competition with himself and Hernandez at left back as well. So he's not quite back to his best just yet. I think he's obviously had a great season last season, but hoping to get more game time, I think, and get his fitness up. But he looked a little bit sluggish there with his first touch and a late tackle.
Choupo-Moting turning into trouble. Looking to find Coleman. He does so. Trying to get him back. He's a big physical specimen, isn't he? He's a football player, Choupo-Moting, and let's see what he can do from here. Two defenders now trying to take the ball off him. Back it goes to Coleman. Couple inside the box to aim for, but here's Davis. Needs a bit of help. Finds Kimmich. Coleman once more. Plenty of boos whistling around the stadium from the Egyptian fans, trying to play it through as far as Roca, but the keeper off this line quickly. Nice touch from Kimmich to bring it down.
He's such a calm player, isn't he? So composed in possession.
Yeah. It's the sign of a good one, isn't it? When you're playing that midfield role, and you always seem to have that extra second or half second on the ball, which he frequently does. Back it comes from Ashfat. With this near side to Tahir. Sulia. It's a decent ball. Spreading the play a little bit. Now it goes to El Sahat. Hani. El Sahat. Hani's going to get it back. Can he get a cross in? It's taking a deflection. It might break kindly. Sani gets a header. It hasn't got it quite clear yet, though. Tahir. Across it goes. Trying to find a 1-2. No room there for El Shahat. Out it goes again to Hani. Can he get another cross in? No, he finds El Shahat once more. Maybe he'll look to put it in. Tries a nutmeg. Nothing doing there. And Coman with the pass out of trouble. Choupo-Moting back to Davis. Inside it goes to Roca. And that's really good, calm, composed play from Bayern to work their way out of trouble.
Yeah, I think I think he got one nutmeg on Alphonso Davies. I think trying two was probably a little bit too much to ask for. It's better play though. That 1-2 out wide, I think, was probably the first chance that they've got in behind that line to get that cross in, but better play all round going forward from them.
Trying to push them forward here. No room there for Lewandowski, and he took an awful clap on the side of the ankle. He's gone down. I think he's in trouble. I don't think he's going to be able to continue. He's waving for attention anyway, but the referee's waving play on. He didn't see anything wrong with it. I'd like to see a replay. This one might work out. Don't think El Shahat quite meant to do that. Davis is after him. Needs to watch him. Ashva back into the centre midfield. Davidovski limping, as you can see, back on his feet, but he wasn't too happy with the challenge.
Yeah, it's probably another late challenge that we spoke about earlier on, and we did speak that could be a couple of challenges, late challenges that people could get hurt in, and I'd like to get another look at it now. I didn't see too much in it. I think it was kind of a 50-50 ball that he just kind of got caught on, but he seems to be running okay now. Just maybe needs to run it off.
Maybe he just made a bit of a meal of it when it first happened, but Ahly still have possession somehow. Not the cleanest pass, but Tahir was in the right place for it. On goes Karaba to put pressure on. Safely back into the hands of Neuer.
Yeah, I don't think Boateng will thank Pavard for that one. He kind of nearly put him into a little bit of danger with that pass towards him, but well swept up by Neuer, who's ready for the head back.
Now it comes to Pavard. Looking for one of his teammates to show for it. Sané, too much running intention on his part. Seems quite happy where he is at the moment. Maybe just waiting for a bit of space to break into. Wide it goes to Davis, who's got Coleman with him, but Davis doesn't want him yet. That's a lovely ball. Nice feet as well. Great space for the pass. Here's Coleman. Thought about the cross. Brought it back onto his left foot. Dinks it in towards Lewandowski. Out comes El Shaarawy.
Yeah, that's much better by Alphonso Davies. He commits a player and he plays that pass into Coleman. He can get the cross in, but better interplay between the two left-sided players there, and El Shaarawy comes out and collects it.
Saved with the back of Boateng. Now they come to Pavard and Sané with him. Sané doing it from here into midfield he goes. Kimmich, look at the run from Sané. He was asking for a little dink over the top and he was unmarked. Kimmich just didn't see him. Pavard looking for Lewandowski. He was, I think, offside anyway, but play continues.
It's just Sané showing that little burst of pace that he does have when he gets into those positions.
Absolutely. Pavard, look at the square across the face. A goal! Well, that could have been awkward. It's gone for a corner, but crucially for Ayman, it didn't go into the goal.
I'm sure Ayman's counting his blessings that didn't go underneath the keeper and into the goal, but yeah, it's a good ball by Pavard in there into a dangerous area, and fortunately for Ahly, it's gone wide and not into the back of the net.
Triple substitution. There's Bolia, who I was telling you about, started the last game, and he's going to come on. Dieng is also going to play, and fresh legs all around just to maybe try and get something in the last 20 minutes or so. Tolisso on for Bayern Munich as well. Pavard is going to go off, so loads of fresh legs on now, and there's a good 20 minutes plus change to see how they impact the game.
Yeah, I think Rock had gone off there. I think he had a decent game coming in for Goretzka. Maybe thought Bayern Munich might have went for that 4-1 with Kimmich playing in that holding role by himself, but Rock has come in and done himself well tonight. I think he had a good game. He got on the ball and he tried to influence the play as best he could from that holding midfield, but a good shift from himself.
And interesting that Tits-Karabay's gone off for Boalia, so Tahir and Boalia would be two recognised strikers in the game for Ahly. They're obviously pushing everything forward now to try and create an equaliser, but their playmaker Afsha, we've just seen, has gone off, so Sané to take the corner then. And a goal here, and you feel Bayern Munich would be as good as through to the final. Back it comes to Sané, gets the cross in, needs to be directed goal where it was. Decent header, but equally straight at the keeper. El Shaarawy didn't really have to move. Choupo-Moting got the glancing header.
Yeah, it's a good cross in by Sané, inviting ball in. I think Choupo-Moting obviously showing his height and his stature in there to get that flick on. It's just not quite enough on it, but again, great ball coming in from Sané. He'll come inside on that left foot quite a bit, and I think that'll be a dangerous ball for Bayern Munich if they can link up together.
The deflection there, it's broken kindly for Boateng. Coleman on the left hand side, there's no real support. And the fresh legs of Dieng making a nuisance of himself, where he is on in place of Afsha.
Yeah, it's clever by Coleman, isn't it? I think he knows he doesn't have much on and he had nowhere really to go, so he just kind of tries to force that tackle in, but there's the chance again for Choupo-Moting. Here's
Sané. Coleman's unmarked to the back post. Plays it through for Kimmich. Plays it off, the shot comes in. No, well wide, nothing to trouble the goal there. Riso's first effort, couldn't find the target. Yeah,
it's a good set from Kimmich again, isn't it? It just gets too much on it, leaning back a little bit, and it goes over the bar, but But good play from Bayern Munich again. I think they need to try and get on the ball a little bit more and try to create more opportunities like that, I think.
It goes from Davis. Confirmation that the free throw has gone off. And 3 substitutions: Mosen, Bayern and Boalia. Bayern in possession. Boateng. Sane. Now to go there for Choupo-Moting, so back it goes to Sane. Davis. Coleman. 1-on-1 with Ahly. Nice roll back again, keeping possession. Headed away. Should break Ahly though for Bayern. First touch was good. Find Pavard. Choupo-Moting. Well, just a complete lack of communication there, really. He's strong, this boy, though. It's difficult to dislodge him, even when you do foul him.
That's the only way to do it, isn't it, really?
Yeah. And he's a big block of a lad, isn't he? Goes to Pavard, bit of room. Didn't fancy the cross, nobody really in there to aim for. So back it goes. Also goes wide to Davis. Best pass I've ever seen. So 17 minutes to play, and still just a single goal separating the teams. I'm sure Hansi Flick would love another one just to make sure of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think with the way the game is starting to pan out, I think it's going to need a goal just to be sure, isn't it? You don't want to be going to those last few minutes with the score at 1-0 and Ahly maybe going for it and throwing everything at it and getting that equaliser. So I think Bayern Munich will need to and want to get that second goal, as you said.
Here's without that. Goes the long ball forward. Again, Coleman had made a bit of a run. Pretty easily cut out though. Left hand side. Where Ayman was waiting. His pass doesn't find the target. Decent reception from Pavard. Bit of frustration, as you can see, on the sideline by Musamani.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with his players' reaction in the second half. I think they've tried to, as you said, impose themselves in the game a little bit better. They're keeping possession a little bit better and maybe not looking for that killer pass as early as they had been in the first half, but being better the second half going forward.
Absolutely, and we did say wanting to go enjoy themselves. It was a bit tongue-in-cheek when I mentioned about the penalties, but they definitely seem like they're settling into the game more, and they've given it everything. As Sane breaks free now, we know he's quick. He's got 2 defenders in the box. He's on his own so far, Sane, waiting for the support run to come. That's a beautifully weighted pass. Out it goes to Coleman. Lewandowski's just inside him. Coleman trying to make room. Can't get away. Really good tackle by Ahly.
Yeah, it's well read by Ahly, isn't it? I think he knows what he's trying to do. Coleman has that pace to touch it and burst past you. But again, Sane breaks forward with it, probably just a little bit lack of options in that forward area. But it just shows that Bayern still have that attacking threat on the break if they do give them the opportunity.
Boateng has it. Kimmich to a single back. Not committing too many to try and steal possession off the back four. It's the moment it comes into the midfield area, they try and nick it free as they just did there, but then that's given away pretty easily. Davis, was he fouled? He says he was. A little bit soft perhaps, but you can see Hanny's not too happy about the decision. I'd like to see it again.
I think he's unfortunate, isn't it? I think he does just catch him. He's the intentions of going for the ball, but he does catch him just on the edge.
Good spot by the referee.
I think, as you mentioned there as well, Ahly, they're sitting in their in their banks, and I think they're really picking their moments to try and go and attack. I think that's important as well. They can't have individuals kind of breaking forward, and as I said before, giving those gaps for Bayern Munich. That they're trying to do it tactically, they're doing it the right way, I think, and they might get their opportunity to get a shot on goal and get something from it if they keep doing it that way.
And as you say, you know, it takes a lot of discipline to hold that shape when you might be tempted to try and squeeze up a bit on the back four and take possession out. But there might come a stage in the next 5, 6, 7 minutes where they just have to go for broke, because as things stand, they're going out of the semi-final stage. And Bayern, you wouldn't bet me. Oh, that's a poor free kick from Stanley. What was he thinking there?
It's just a heavy pass, isn't it? You can see the intention that's there, but he just doesn't execute it quite as well as he would have liked, I think.
Rocket of a shot from long way out on the big man. Here we see the drone footage of it. Isn't a million miles off. More substitutions. Musiala and Shula coming in. See the players to come off. Well, it's Boateng. It's a pretty solid shift, as you expect, Stephanie, from Boateng when he plays.
Yeah, experienced player, isn't he? I think he's used to playing in games like this and seeing them through. But Sula, who's played quite a bit recently as well, has come in. I think he's just as experienced to come into that position. I think Ahly won't be getting too much from him either.
No, and Coleman as well, who put himself about. Musiala is going to go into that left-hand side and try and cause a bit of damage in the next 13 minutes or so.
Yeah, I thought possibly with Coleman going off, you might have seen Douglas Costa coming in, but he's opted for a different type of player. But it's the same idea. I think these players are going to be continuing to play the way Bayern have been playing. They're going to try and get at them and cause trouble. And I think, as I said before, I think it'll be a nervy last few minutes if they can't get that second goal.
So Shula out towards Pavard. He's under pressure here, and he's lost the ball. Really good work down that left side by Ayman, trying to find Warrior, who'd made the run to support him, but couldn't pick him out.
I think it's frustrating for Ahly, isn't it? I think every time they do something right, it's frustrating, because Bayern are straight back at them and they don't give them that opportunity to try and nick that opportunity or get that goal. It's really difficult to play against us when you're chasing the ball for so long, and you get those opportunities and the opposition team don't give you a minute to actually try and get something from it. It can be frustrating, as I mentioned.
Absolutely. Musiala did well to get away from the first defender. It's still going. Musiala lays it off, but he did the hard bits really well. Then the final pass wasn't great, but Bayern still have it. Sula has it. Goes to Ahly. Just the 4 shots from Ahly in the entire game. Half of those were on target. 18 for Bayern. 6 of those on target. Pass inside, but doesn't quite work out. Trying to spin out of trouble was Staying. Back was Alphonso Davies to steal it back. Sula. Kimmich. And it goes to Davies. Little jink inside. Nice foot. Nice feet even. Davies still going. Pushed by Ahly. He's done well on that right-hand side, hasn't he, Ahly? He's not the biggest player in the world, Stephanie, but he's well able to make those one-on-one tackles.
Yeah, he's had his hands full too, hasn't he, with Kingsley Coleman and Alphonso Davies coming at him. I think he's had to be disciplined. He's probably put in, as we said, a few late challenges, but I think overall he's had a decent game.
Goes to Kimmich. Forward to Tolisso. Again. Just a bit of a collision there between Sani and neither of them seem to come off the better for it. I think Bayern have been given the free kick. They have. But let's see it again here. Ayman, who went in first of all.
Yeah, I think a few of them have got a piece from there, haven't they? It's just a eagerness to get the ball, but it's a free kick. I think he's come in late from behind, and as I mentioned, the other 2 players helped him out as well. Dangerous position here though. Sani scored an absolute sublime free kick in the the Bundesliga last week, I think it was an absolute fantastic free kick, and obviously his left foot coming into this position will be a huge threat here for Ahly.
Yeah, you'd love to see him have a go, wouldn't you? Sure, why not? Well, as long as Ayman's okay, if he gets back up off the ground, you know, he went in with the tackle. He was the one who was penalised and then ended up on the floor himself. That sometimes happens.
I think it might have been his own player as well.
Often happens, isn't it?
Just the eagerness to try and win the ball back, which, as I said, you have to admire from this Ahly team. They haven't given up. They're keeping their discipline. They're trying to do the right things.
Well, you see it again. 3 of them going for the one Bayern player. It's Sani is okay, and it's Ayman who's having to be shepherded to the sideline, and the result is going to be a Bayern free kick in a dangerous position right into the Al Ahly fans, as you can see behind the goal there. And this man here, the captain of the team, El Shanawi, just lining up the wall, trying to give himself as much protection as possible. The referees wants them back another 3 or 4 feet or so to where the white line is. I mean, it's prime Sani territory, isn't it, Steph?
Yeah, as you mentioned, the technique he has, he's on his left foot. It's in a great position. I'd imagine it will be him taking this free kick on his left foot.
Alaba standing it over as well. Sane or Alaba, which one is it to be? It's Sane, straight at the wall. Alaba's going to get a go, straight at the defender.
The wall does his job.
So neither of them managed to get past the block. Right, still there though. Kimmich looking for the little dink inside the box, aiming towards a back post where Choupo-Moting was standing. You know, it was a big lump, but the ball needed to be a little bit higher over the defence. That one's not going to fall kindly for Varga. And we thought played pretty well the last round as well. He thought he had a goal scored, was disallowed for offside. He hasn't scored for the club since signing for them there in January, and I'm sure he's absolutely desperate to get off the target. For a striker, Stephanie, I'd say you're watching the clock almost after you go past a certain amount of games and you haven't scored. You're like, right, just give me the first goal.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it needs to be a scrappy one as well, doesn't it? I think one that goes in off your knee or something just gives you that, gets that monkey off the back, and it gives you the opportunity to play with a bit more freedom. But I think just try to continue to be in the right positions and get those opportunities is all you can really do.
And they might have one more chance now. It's given away. He's standing right in front of him. The whistle's gone though for the free kick. You see Sharif coming in, and Tahir's gone off. He put himself about in the second half in particular, but Ahly get the equalising goal here in behind the back four. I think Sula was the last player to shepherd that back towards Manuel Neuer, who did well, the Bayern captain. 7 minutes left to play.
Yeah, it was a good shift from Tahir, wasn't it? I think he had a bit of a thankless job up front there by himself, but he worked hard for the team and should be happy with his performance. Obviously won't be happy if the team don't get a result here, but as I said, he's done himself justice, or done himself proudly in his performance for the team.
So Sani didn't get enough on it, headed back into the midfield, just hacked away. Walia did well, trying to keep that ball alive. There is Pavard, has had another solid game as well. He's just been everywhere you'd want him to be, particularly in those moments down the left-hand flank. He seemed to be in the right place at the right time, and equally going forward as well. He put himself about a bit.
Yeah, I think that's the impressive thing with this Bayern Munich team, isn't it? It's not just going forward. They all work equally as hard going back and defending to make sure that they keep the clean sheet for the team and really to get the ball back so they can get their attack going again. It really is a joy to watch, to see how hard they work to win that ball back.
Davis takes it back. Alaba and Sula on his near side. Sane. His first touch to Tolisso. Sane's made a run. He's going to get there first as well. Struggling to get that back in. Oh, it's a beautiful cross, and an easy as you like for that man, Lewandowski. What a cross, and an open goal for Lewandowski. His goal-scoring run continues.
It's a great ball, isn't it? I think personally I was really expecting Sane to try and put back onto his left foot, but he sees Lewandowski at the back post absolutely free, and as you mentioned, it's a gift for a player like him. He's not missing from there, but what a ball in.
It was the pace of Sane, wasn't it, to get there first? The pass wasn't bad, was it?
It's good play. It's maybe one of the first bits of interplay we've seen. We said Choupo-Moting coming on, linking with Sane, but again, it's just all about that ball, isn't it? I think he's just trying to loft it up to the back post for someone to come in, and thankfully Lewandowski is there to tap it home for Bayern.
29 goals in 27 matches. Can you quite believe that goal scoring record? And he won't have an easier one than that.
He's a machine, isn't he? He really is. As I mentioned before, any young strikers watching the game, just to watch his movement, because he doesn't get into that position just by chance. It's his movement to get there. And as I said, it's a really joy to watch as a striker, to see a player like that just to finish the goals he's got. And as I said, the way he creates the space for himself and to finish the goals the way he does, he really is a great striker.
Ahly unfinished yet though. Long range effort. It's going to be straight at Manuel Neuer, who's had very little to do today. But Sharif, why not have a go?
There's nothing to lose now, is there really? I think, as we said before, I think Bayern getting that second goal really would kill the game off. It probably came a little bit later than most Bayern fans would have liked, but I think that's really seen them off. And
But, you know, to come to Qatar and after the well-documented problems they have with the plane not taking off in time, having to sleep there overnight, and then coming all the way out here, didn't have as much prep time as they would have liked. You know, this could have been a bit of a banana skin for them, but they've dealt with it pretty well, Steph.
Exactly, yeah. Even if you look at the team, it didn't really change much from that game against Hertha Berlin, but as you mentioned, they've dealt with it. I think I didn't really expect much more from them. I think I would have thought they would have come into this game ready for, obviously, professional players used to kind of dealing with these different types of things, but yeah, they've really shown their quality here tonight, and I think they would have been expected to win it, and that can almost be, as you say, a banana skin at times if you're expected to go and win it, but they really have shown their quality and their authority and gone and given a really professional performance.
Club world champions in 2013, looking to repeat that feat 8 years later in 2021. They are through to the final, barring an absolute miracle, you'd have to say, and with a free kick here in a dangerous position, you wouldn't bet against them making it 3. That man's on a hat-trick.
Yeah, and I think watching Lewandowski, he'll be working hard to get that hat-trick. He's not one to kind of just sit back and be happy enough with the 2 goals. He'll always want to score more and more in each game, so they'll need to keep a tight eye on him here once the ball comes into the box.
Kimmich headed away, it's not out of trouble though, and a strike from Lewandowski, well, and straight over the bar. Just look at the goal again, Steph.
Yeah, as I said before, I think it's all Sané, isn't it? He makes the goal from, but again, as I said before, if you watch Lewandowski's movement as well, he goes to the front post and he adjusts his run and he finds that space at the back post, and it's lucky, obviously, I'm not saying lucky, but it's the quality of Sané's ball to the back post where he's in the right position at the right time.
And tough when you're running a full tilt towards that byline there to have the soft touch that needed just to get it over the head of the keeper and onto the head of Lewandowski, because it'd be easy to overhit that.
Exactly, yeah, or even, as I said, maybe he could try and just keep it in play, but he's always looking for that killer pass, and as I said, it's a great ball to the back post and an easy tap in for a player of the quality of Lewandowski.
Tolisso can't stop it going for a throw on that far side, so Ahly will have possession. From attack here, well, you can see it's meant for Ahly. He did really well to keep that in play. Davis is trying to stop him getting the cross in here, and Ahly couldn't quite get the space needed to make the cross. Frustration for the manager on the sideline, but they just come up against a really good team here, and they haven't disgraced themselves.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Ahly, isn't he? He's worked hard to get there, but as I said, Alphonso Davies sticks with him the whole way and just doesn't give him that easy pass, and it's just, as I said, it's been a professional performance for Bayern Munich. When they've maybe Ahly have had a chance or thought they've had a sniff, they've got back and flushed out any chance of them getting anything in this game. I think they've, as I said, a professional performance and a really good team defensively and attackingly in Bayern Munich here.
Tigres awaiting Bayern Munich in the final. If it stays like this, Sané's back there to help out his defence. A little bit awkward. It's gone for a goal kick. And Pavard will hand it back to Neuer. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the second half. Hot and heavy in Doha, as you can probably imagine, regardless of the time of year. And this is, of course, a taster of what's to come with the World Cup next year. Almost like a practice round, really, for the stadia, for staff, logistically, and test out a few things needed for the World Cup to go as smoothly as possible, and we all hope and we expect by that stage that crowds will be able to travel freely, but we just don't know with this pandemic. Every time we have thought that the end is in sight, it's come back to bite, so we won't presume anything, but certainly from the organisers are concerned, they have to act as if there's going to be crowds coming, and an awful lot at that.
Yeah, I think most nations will be looking forward to the World Cup and wanting to get over to support their team, so we would like to hope that come that time that we'll be back to a little bit of more normality, and the stadiums will be full again, and you'll be able to cheer on your teams.
Absolutely. The stadium itself as well was just completely demolished and rebuilt for the specific purpose of the World Cup next year. So that back to Alaba. Thankful just to knock it around. 2.5 minutes to go now. And Ahly really should just throw caution to the wind here. I know they don't want to be embarrassed in the scoreline, but 2 goals down in injury time, we might as well just throw the kitchen sink at it. Lovely pass. Look at the weighted through ball from Sula. Beautiful to find Choupo-Moting. Trying to make space himself to either get a cross or a pass in. That's not a bad ball. Just took a deflection. Came off Ibrahim, I think, from Musiala's attempt. And it'll be another Bayern corner.
Yeah, it's a nice idea, isn't it? It's a good little reverse pass from Choupo-Moting into Musiala. But as you mentioned, I think you're saying Ahly have to go for it, just go for it. But I think it's the quality of Bayern Munich. They're not giving them the opportunity. They're seeing this game out well. I think keeping the possession and really not giving them too much to work with.
Out it goes. Kimmich. Davis. Tolisso. Coming from his teammate. And safety on the front touchline. And it's going to be a throw. Sideline for Davis to take. Then it goes to Musiala. Alaba. Meyer to Sula.
Bayern just trying to see this out, really, aren't they? Just keep the ball, don't exert themselves too much, and the game's won. That final to look forward to, and I think it's, as I said, really good performance from the team, and probably at times without really having to go into second gear, they've really controlled the game a lot throughout really, and it's a very, very good performance from them.
It is. It's been just solid, if you like, and as you say, doing exactly what's required of them, keeping their discipline when they need it, comfortable in possession, dominating most stats in the game so far, and of course the 2 all-important goals as well from Lewandowski as he approaches the final 30 seconds. There'll be a handle for Tigres, Stephanie, in the final.
Yeah, big game for them. Obviously, huge fan base from Tigres as well. We'll be happy to see them in the final against a team like Bayern Munich to test themselves against the European Championships. It should be a really good game, and hopefully we can see lots of goals and a good quality of football.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, there is the final whistle then. And it's Bayern Munich safely through to that final against the Mexican club champions, Tigres, and they've done what's needed to be done, really. The Champions League champions and Bundesliga champions. Ahly gave it everything. Can't fault them for effort, but Bayern Munich just too strong on the night, even with their travelling difficulties. Comfortable enough in the end for the German champions. They're through to the final on a final scoreline here of Ahly 0, Bayern Munich 2.